We're going to try something fancy this time. It's a couple minutes early, but we're going to try something fancy this time. I'm going to be both live on YouTube and on Facebook. Let's see if this works. I know that not a lot of you watch on YouTube, but maybe we'll get good practice. Anyway, so I am Erin. People call me Queenie, or I call myself Queenie. You know, sometimes you have to name yourself a royal name. So I'm Queenie, and this is September's monthly card pull. This is the video where I pull a bunch of different cards from a bunch of different decks and try and attempt to tie them all together in a story for the energy of the month of September, or whatever month that we're in. So last month, I think we were preparing for September. I think last month was kind of like the big let go. And September is supposed to be the big start new. So we'll see. It looks like my my YouTube video on my laptop is a little less vibrant, a little less clear, a little more muddy. But maybe it'll be like that moonlighting episode where they put the Vaseline on the camera lens. Of course, that's what I'm thinking, right? Anyway, so the first thing we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is, I'm trying to wave at everybody. If I don't end up waving at everybody, because it's filling up my screen. Anyway, if I don't end up waving at everybody, just know I see you. I'm going to shuffle the Fairies Oracle cards, and we're going to pull the Fairies card, which is generally what we do. I've got a couple different decks today because I have so many. I have a lot of tarot decks. That doesn't mean I am pretty sure that other people have a lot more tarot decks than I do, but I have a few, so I like to alternate them, and I might pull one from my old Standby the Connolly deck, but I have the Vanessa Tarot and the Nicoletta Ciccoli or whatever Tarot. Anyway, we're going to try those. I did already look those over, and both of these tarot decks, they have really cute little pictures and artwork, but their meanings in the books are just kind of, if you'll pardon my French, kind of shitty. And I don't really, I'm not resonating with them. Hi, Kathy. And so I will tell you what I see. I won't be reading from the books because I disagree. And it's not like I'm trying to put a positive spin on everything, but I am kind of trying to put a positive spin on everything, or at least not sound so hopeless and snarky. They're a little snarky. Anyway. All right, so we're shuffling the Fairies Oracle cards. They wanted a lot more shuffling than normal. So let's pull a card. I generally pull from the middle of the deck. Oh no, I'm just kidding. So what we've got here is, oh, look, it shows up in both the cameras. I'm like double Erin. You know, if you know how often I love looking in the mirror, you know that me looking into the camera is so great. It's like double vein. Woo. Anyway, we have the Glauconer. Now, you can see him really clear in the Facebook Live. Let me put him up in the other. And you notice that there are little holes in there. My dog, Toby. I got this deck in 1999, and my dog, kind of as a puppy, got a hold of it a couple times. So I'm waving at everybody. Anyway, so the Glauconer. So if this is the card of the month, which it is because I just pulled it, the Glauconer is, they kind of call him the used car salesman of the Fairies Oracle, because he has a mask and everything is not what it seems. Like, do you see that there's almost like two faces behind the mask. Here's the Facebook Live. You can see him a lot clearer. See the little face peeking up over the top of the mask? Let's see if we can, there we go. See, there's a face underneath so he's got this fancy dramatic mask on with the side pieces and everything like that, but there's a little face underneath that. Anyway, the Glaucon is always about things not being what they seem. So it's important to look at the fine print. It's important to this would tell me that anything new that is being brought in this September, if we went on the Let Go diet last month, this September, anything new that's being brought in, it's going to be really important to actually look a gift horse in the mouth. They tell you, do not look a gift horse in the mouth. Well, it looks like in September, it's very important to look a gift horse in the mouth. Yay! I'm so glad, Susan. It's very important in September to look a gift horse in the mouth, because what it feels like to me, and this may not be for anybody else, but what it feels like to me is that there's a lot of newness coming in. It's almost like we're getting an early fall spring or right before fall happens, we're getting kind of spring. There's some new things to be brought in because we've done a lot of letting go, or we've been forced to let go of a lot of things that have outlived their usefulness, that we just didn't want anymore, and we've been forced to let that stuff go. So we're bringing, so we made space, and so nature abhors a vacuum. So new stuff comes into that space that we've made where all the things got let go. Okay. So what this tells me is the new things, it's important to examine them. It is important to look at them closely. It is important to read the fine print. It is important to, let's see. It is important to check under the hood. Check under the hood. Read the fine print. Boy, that's really funny, because I'm working at selling my car right now, my little old beater Sparky, and if that person who's buying the car is watching this video, he's going to have to look under the hood, and hopefully it's what he wants. I'm pretty sure it is. It's a good car, but that just made me think of that. Anyway, so now I'm gonna have a hot flash just to think about that. But so in September, we're bringing we've left an open space so that we can bring new things in. And those new things that are going to come in, what it feels like is there may be more new things than you need that are going to come in. So you're going to have to really pick and choose which ones that you trust and which ones you don't. So look under the hood, look a gift horse in the mouth, maybe do a trial run, take it for a ride, and see if that works, see if you'll trust it. This is just, it's very important. It's very important to do that. So there we are with the first card. Oh man, I am melting like the Wicked Witch of the West right here. I can't see on the Facebook Live because all your little faces are going up. But anyway, so the first card, Fairies Oracle card. Again, we've got the Glauconer. This is, they call him Smooth Harry. He's the used car salesman of the Fairies Oracle, which means that you need to check under the hood. You need to look under his mask. And it could also, another thing that masks cover are masks try and make people feel bigger and better than they actually are, or protect their soft underbellies. So it might be somebody has come into your life, someone new, or someone's returned to your life, and they seem too good to be true. They might be too good to be true, but they might also be puffing themselves up to protect the soft underbelly. So this tells me that September is going to be a month of examining these things, examining these new things that have come in. So I'm kind of switching the card from here. YouTube Live, Facebook Live. I'm trying to be all fancy and multimedia right now. Anyway, so there's a Fairies Oracle card. Now, I also did something fun. Well, I think it's fun. I don't know about you, but I'm going to pull a rune because I found my runes and I've had these for a long time. We won't go into, oh, here you go. Can you see it, Stephen? This is the Glauconer. You like his little chew marks? That's from my dog, Toby. My dear departed love dog. There you go. I hope you can see it. Anyway, so now we're going to pull a rune. A rune? We're going to pull a rune. A Viking rune. Now, I got these probably over 20 years ago as a present from a fellow witchy friend that we fell out, but I still have the runes. So this is this one right here. See? YouTube Live. Facebook Live. There we go. All right. So I'm going to read what this one is about. So this is, maybe it'll tie into the Glauconer. Won't that be exciting? They generally do. I love this rune. This rune, it's rad. Rad. This is a rad rune. So this rune is called Rad. Okay. It's about initiative, movement, and journeys. Okay. So this kind of goes along with what we're talking about of having new beginnings in September and things moving. And sometimes with the Glauconer, when things are moving, you have to kind of test each direction a little bit to see which one's actually for you and examine a little bit with all the newness around. And that'll help ground you if you're like, oh, whoa, easy. Okay, hold on. Oh, that looks lit up. That's the one I'm going to go for. So, and I love that it's called Rad. It's totally rad, man. Like, it's rad. That rune is like totally rad. Oh my God. So if any of you knew me in high school, you'll know that I used to do the Valley Girl voice all the time, and because I'm a weirdo. Anyway, so next we're going to go on to the Spirit Cats card because everybody seems to like those, and I like those too. So we're going to go on to that, and because like I totally like the Spirit Cats card because they're so cute and they seem to be so like gentle and nice. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to shuffle them. I'm just having fun. And part of that fun involves voices. So too bad. All right. So we're shuffling the cards. And now let's close our eyes and pick a cat. Pick a cat. Any cat. Listen, I've got 7. You can have one. Yeah. Anyway. So here is, we'll show the Facebook Live. Look at this kitty with a striped tail. It's a little ginger. Oh, you're welcome, Susan. Thank you. Good. I hope you liked it. You can probably you can watch it later or whatever. So YouTube Live, folks, here's this cat. Look at this cat. Isn't it pretty? Okay. So this is, this spirit cat is called Threshold. Meet Sage. Let's see. Oh, good. We got both. Meet Sage. She's the queen of the threshold. In or out? Out or in? She lingers right at the borderline between worlds. Easy for me to say. Glancing back, she takes stock of everything she's cherished, everything that has challenged or interested her, and everything that has weighed her down and limited her. She peeks her nose. She peeks her nose through the door and smells the fresh air of possibility with a swirl of exhilaration and a hint of fear. Perhaps she even tiptoes through a few times, only to return to her old world for a while. Find peace at the threshold, but don't surrender to the turn back now gargoyles that guard the gateway. When you're ready, you'll stride boldly into your new world. Okay? So there may be a lot of new things opening up this month. And when you're ready, you can actually embrace them and step in and not turn back. But understand, you have to honor the fact that you might not be ready, just like you have to honor the fact that you need to examine things to make sure, check under the hood. Check under the hood. Look the gift horse in the mouth, right? So I'm going to pull a tarot card from the Eileen Connolly deck, and let's see if we can get more confirmation of what we've already gotten before. So again, I feel like I was right last month about September being about some new beginnings. And these may not be external beginnings. These may be these internal beginnings to where you just feel different about things now. You're able to let go of some old crap that used to hold you back, some old ways or responses to life that used to hold you back. You may be able to let go of those things, and you're looking at life in a new way from a really deep level. And when stuff like that happens, when we go through a shift like that, it's important to kind of, it's unfamiliar territory and it's all new. And there may be new people with masks and you have to look underneath them to make sure that, you're okay. And that I don't see this as being anything that would make you backslide. I see this as I feel like if you're like me, you're committed to moving forward. You're committed to growing as a human being. You're committed to moving forward. You're committed to healing the things that hold you back, to let go of the things that hold you back. Heal what you need to, heal what you need to heal and move on. I can endorse that path just because it's mine. That doesn't mean you have to do it. If you want to sit in your schmutz, you can certainly do that. If I really knew the exact meaning of what schmutz was, maybe I wouldn't have said it. I don't know. Anyway, so let's shuffle the Eileen Connolly deck. This is my most straight ahead tarot deck that I have, and I have used these cards since the 80s, man. Totally since the mid 80s. Okay, this is a Valley Girl one. I don't understand why, but she is right there. I'm all over it. I don't know why, but there it is. I can't stop her. I can't stop her. She's out of control. All right, so the Eileen Connolly deck and the September card of the month from we got two. Okay. All right. So I've decided, since they came out upside down, that I'm turning them right side up because I'm the boss. They don't call me Queenie for nothing, or I don't call me Queenie for nothing. Okay. So we got these two, and you can kind of see them there. So we have a King of Wands and we have a Four of Swords. Interesting. The reason this is interesting is that they can kind of go together, but it's also more of what we were talking about. So first we'll see the King of Wands, and the kings in the tarot are like mastery over their suit. So Wands is about passion, creativity, fire, lust, magic. And the King of Wands has developed mastery over the qualities of that suit. He has a tendency to be the wise one that people go to actually, you know what? This just dawned on me. Since there are four kings in the tarot, there's the King of Wands, the King of Swords, the King of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Each one has a specific job. And the King of Wands is the wise person that you go to for inspiration. Okay? The King of Cups would be the wise person that you go to for healing, for emotional healing, and for visions. The King of Pentacles would be the wise person that you go to for understanding, manifestation, and security, and grounding, for grounding. The King of Swords would be the person that you go to show you about truth and boundaries. Oh man, that's really good. I should write that. I should record that. Oh, I just did. Okay. Anyway, so September is a month where the King of Wands is there. So basically, what this kind of, I can tie this into the Glauconer, because in order to look underneath the Glauconer's mask, you know, it takes some wisdom, it takes some experience. And the King of Wands. So basically, this is telling me that you have the wisdom and you have the experience to, you know, look under that mask and be able to tell yourself whether this is a legit new thing or whether it's right for you or not. And you also have enough wisdom to be able to tell whether it's true or not, whether it's too good to be true or not. So that's a very good thing. Now, if we've got the King of Wands with the Four of Swords, okay, the phrase that I'm getting for the Four of Swords is kind of, it puts the brakes on, and you're tempted. It's very tempting with when the Four of Swords comes up, is that you are, you're realizing some truths about something that makes you kind of stop in your tracks and might trigger some old fears that you have that would normally paralyze you, but you're not that person anymore. And so you need to understand that this may slow you down, and it may be okay for you to slow down a little bit, but there's no need to stop. So the reason I also say that with this card is, okay, we'll do it with the Facebook Live. You notice that there are swords. There's an opening in the fence. There are swords in front of the opening. There is a ribbon tied across those swords. Here we go. YouTube Live. Okay. You see the ribbon tied across those swords? Somebody somewhere along the line told that guy that's standing there that if that particular setup is there, then then you can't go through. It's really dangerous. It's really scary. You've got to stop. Well, I'm here to remind you that it's not true, that you need to check with your own wisdom, which is the King of Wands, for inspiration to show you the path past, to get through that gate, to get past those swords. You may just have to go a little bit slower because the Four of Swords has a tendency to need some recuperative time. So you may have to go a little bit slower, but you can still find the inspiration to keep moving from yourself. So this king showing up means that you have all the mastery that you need to inspire yourself to move forward. And September is a month of moving a little more forward than we have in the last couple of months. Okay, so those are all. We've got the Fairies Oracle card, the Glauconer, look under the hood, looks a gift horse in the mouth. We've got the rune, Rad, which is initiations and new beginnings and moving ahead, inspired action. And then we've got the King of Wands, which is more, not so much action, but inspiration and mastery over passion and magic and action and lust and all kinds of fiery things. Anyway, and then you've got the Four of Swords, which is, okay, that's really great. You lit the fire. Now, can you contain it? Can you contain it without putting it out? So 4 is also like a structure. Can you contain that fire without putting it out? All kinds of interesting information that I normally don't read into the cards is coming in tonight with all this, the kings and what they mean. And I hope I remember it because it's kind of cool. Anyway, and then the cat, Threshold. This is being on the edge of going in and out. Like my cat Goldie, she comes inside and will stay in the house for hours and then goes back out to hang out with her friend, with her sister Leia, because she doesn't want Leia to be outside alone, and she likes to be outside with her, but she also likes to come inside and hang out with the cats inside. And of course, there's always food on the floor here, and she likes that. Anyway, so that's kind of, threshold is kind of like Leia, in or out. Well, I haven't decided yet. So this might be a month where you haven't decided whether you're in or out yet, but you're so close, and new things are being brought in. Choices of where to go are being brought in. All right, so let's try a couple of cards from these new decks. And maybe if I can, I don't see more people talking, but maybe I can open it up for some questions about the tarot deck. So first, I'm going to pull something from the Vanessa Tarot, and she's rather sarcastic. The other tarot deck, just like the book meanings, just seemed kind of negative, and I was just like, that doesn't work for me. That, as I stated before, that does not mean that I avoid the negative. It just means that, we all deserve a little hope, So why come out of and free will enters everything. So I could do a reading and it could come out negative, and you could make a decision. You could shift your perspective somehow, something that I said or something someone said when you were on your way out the building or whatever could change your perspective and completely change the layout. So there you go, with people doing a lot of predictive future predictions. I'm sure that there are some psychics that can do that, but I can do like a general window. This is your opportunity. This is how it's laid out here. This is what the grid looks like right now. This is what's lit up right now. That doesn't mean that you won't make some sort of decision that will change things. I feel like we're just kind of soaking in it, and I could get really weird and talk about alternate timelines and everything else. I hope that the Vanessa Tarot can take the sarcasm as well as dish it out. We're going to find out. It's true. All right. So let's see what this snarky lady has for us. Oh, okay. Well, this is kind of nice. It's not like warm and fuzzy like it would be if it was the cup suit. But the card I pulled is the Ace of Swords in the Vanessa Tarot. So interesting, because we pulled a king, the King of Wands. Now I'm pulling the Ace of Swords. So this tells me, because aces are always about beginnings, and aces are gifts from the universe. So the Ace of Swords is a gift of truth, a gift of clarity, a gift of, hello, cutting through the bullshit from the universe. So this is great, because that initial card that I pulled was about like, not everything is what it seems, and if it looks too good to be true, it is, and all kinds of stuff like that. But so having this come in means every little thing is gonna be all right. Means that you'll be able to see the truth. You'll be able to access the wisdom of the King of Wands that got pulled earlier. That you're ready. You're ready for the truth. You're ready to cut out the bullshit. You're ready to move forward and make a new start when it comes to, because Swords is about communication and truth and cutting through the crap and setting boundaries. And so it looks like September is going to be a good month for that. And I appreciate that, because, I think that we've been wading through a bunch of crap. And I think in general, because, and I know I've been stating this every time I do a live video, I talk about how we're just so plugged in. And here you are, you're plugged in right now. I'm plugged in right now. I'm doing a video and it's plugging in. So we're all plugged in to all these stories and the way people want to be seen by us, and the news that they want us to see, and all the polarization, and it's really overwhelming. And people that are more sensitive, or even people that aren't that sensitive, are being affected by all of this. And so having a card like this come up is like, okay, I think that as a human being, as an individual, we need to access our ability to cut through the bullshit so that we can call bullshit on the things that are, and see through it, and set boundaries for ourselves. I'm not watching that. That has consistently been a bunch of nerd. And I don't agree with this. So why am I don't, I'm not comfortable with this. So why am I continuously watching it? You know? So this is a good card about that. This is a good card for those of us who we just don't. It's time for more truth. People that want to uncover the truth. And maybe the reason that the Glauconer came up and with his little mask and everything like that is that we're ready to look under the mask. We're ready to look the gift horse in the mouth. We don't want to be like, we don't want to let the horse in the gates, the Trojan horse in the gates, right? We don't want to let the Trojan horse in the gates. It may be shiny and pretty, but I remember that story, and it may not be so good. And what's happened is we're every single day, the Trojan horse is being rolled into the gates, and every single day we're watching it happen over and over and over again. Wow, that kind of went nonsensical and a little weirdly political, but oh well. Anyway, so the Vanessa Tarot, she ended up not being as sarcastic as I thought. She's kind of cute. The Ace of Swords. Okay, the other tarot. The other one. So at the end, I'm going to go through all of them again and do like the special fancy recap, because one of the things I really like about doing this work is to pull them all together into a story, pull them all together into one story, and, and see if they pull together into one story. It's kind of like a little challenge for me, and you get to be my guinea pigs. Right, Kathy? Do you get it, Kathy? I'm glad you do. Don't make me have to do the Valley Girl again. I cannot stop. I can't stop. It's like, it's not vocal fry, because I really don't like to do that. It's just not very good at all. But I did. Anyway, it's not vocal fry. This is from way before. This is just showing my age, which is really, I shouldn't, man. But on Saturday Night Live, late 70s, early 80s, there was the second set of people. The set of people that had, one of the guys was Charles Rocket, and I can't remember who else was on it, but one of the women did a Valley Girl. And one of the episodes had her talk. Elliot Gould was her date for the prom or something like that. And she was like totally talking about that. And like, I don't think her parents really liked him because he was Jewish, and but she didn't care. Like, oh my God. Anyway, and I just like, it hit me so much because I think I was in Carson City. I was transfixed with California because I must have known I was going to be here someday, that I wanted to do it, and it was hilarious. And then, Moon Unit Zappa. So here we go with the other deck. And I hope you don't mind. Sometimes I just ramble, tough. You're kind of stuck with it. Okay. So that's how, now, because they're new, like sometimes I don't know how to read them. Like I see that there's numbers at the bottom, and now I'm seeing that the suit is up at the top, but there are not 6 wands there. No, there's not 6 wands there. So it's not clear that that it's 6 of wands, except that there's a 6 at the bottom and then there's a little club thing at the top. Okay. So 6 of wands. Okay. 6 relates to the Lover's card, which is in the major arcana. Okay. Which is about communication. It is about making choices based on your heart. It is about relationships of all kinds. So if we've got the 6 of wands and then we've also got the King of wands over there. So wands is about creativity and lust and passion and magic and things that fire you up for good or ill. But since this is the 6 of wands, and I like 6 being an even number, it kind of creates more of a balance than the odd numbers. Yeah, I'm going to find meaning in everything because I love it. But so the 6 of wands would be so we might, some of you might meet someone new or might confirm there might be a deepening of a relationship. You might have looked underneath somebody's mask and saw something you liked there, or achieved a new level of communication with your significant other, or with your family, or with your friends, or whatever. But this 6 of wands is a real kind of going about it in a very creative way, and in a way that you feel passionate about it. So this might very well be you finding something that you feel passionate about expressing. And that it's kind of like, I'm kind of experiencing it because I'm sitting here getting all excited with you about these cards and about how they tie together, and kind of sharing a bit with you about like why I like to tie them together into story, because I love totally into Joseph Campbell and the power of myth, and the idea that we are kind of living our own myth. We are living our own big hero's journey and story. And so what is your journey this month? What part of your journey are you on? And this is like I said, new things are starting. There may be so many new things that you need to pick and choose which one's right for you. You have to examine them to figure out what's right for you. So that's part of it. That's part of it as well. And so I guess what I'm going to do is do a recap and tell you the story of September. So last month we talked about letting go of things, needing to let go of things, because we are making room for new things in September. So here we are in September. New things are coming or imminent or have arrived. So now you get to decide what you want to keep and what's not going to work for you. So I think, if I remember correctly, we had the Lady of the Harvest as either last month or the month before. And that's okay, I created this. Okay, I don't need this anymore. I'll keep this, but I don't need this anymore. Let's use what I created. And now this month is like more, you created space, so new things are starting to burst through. Okay, so again, the first card is for the YouTube Live, the Glauconer. For the Facebook Live, there he is, the Glauconer. And you notice that he has a mask. And this is about looking under the hood. This is about looking a gift horse in the mouth. And, checking to see that if somebody seems like they're too good to be true, they might be, but you might look under their mask because they might be protecting their soft underbelly. So if there's anything new that's coming in, or if you're worried about like purchasing a big ticket item or agreeing to some sort of contract or anything that's binding, I would definitely look a little look a little closer into it and see what's under the hood. Okay. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's bad at all. It just means that, that there's more to learn before you can make a decision. So take time to do that. So that's the Glauconer. And then the next thing we pulled was the rune Rad, which maybe that's why the Valley Girl came in, the Valley Girl voice came in, because like it was totally rad to pull Rad. Okay. Yeah, that's probably why the Valley Girl voice came in. And so here we go with Rad is about initiative, movement, and journeys. So this is about this. So we've got the Glauconer. It's like, okay, we want to move forward, but we have to examine we have to kind of examine what's there first. We don't want to lose our momentum, but we still need to look under the hood. Okay. Now, then here we are with this. We have the little cat spirit card, Threshold, which is, do you want to go in or do you want to go out? Do you want to, allowing it to be okay for you to stand in the doorway, deciding whether you want to go in or out. Be like Cat. You can, it's okay to take a little time to decide whether you want to go in or out, and understand that at a certain point, you will be inspired to take the right action, which is go back inside and shut the door, or go out and shut the door behind you and not look back. That's part of this month. And, you know, again, examine your surroundings while you're kind of venturing almost outside into whatever world is outside. Examine your surroundings that are behind you, inside. Figure out what's real, what's actually really there, so you can decide. And then you can take your journey, as Rad would indicate. Okay, and then after Rad, we did the King of Wands. And he is a fire starter, not in a bad way. He has developed mastery over his passion, over his creativity, over his lust, over his magic. And he's the wise one. And what this tells me is that you have access to that person or that aspect of your personality. Oh, I'm getting the phrase, that there are certain things you fucking know better. You know better. And part of what you know better is you know better than to allow something like this that is a fake scary thing. You allow a fake scary thing to stop you. Okay? Just because somebody told you at one point in time that if you are behind a gate and there are 4 swords with a ribbon strung across them in front of that gate, that you're not allowed to go through, that is a load of crap. That is no longer okay. It is no longer valid to do that. But what is valid is, if you're at the gate, check your surroundings, see if it's safe to go through. Those swords don't have anything to do with it except that they slow you down just a little bit so that you can take in your surroundings. That's the only reason they're there. They are not there to stop you from forward movement. Okay? So that's that. And then what have we got? Oh. Then we pulled the Ace of Swords from the Vanessa Tarot, the sarcastic tarot. And she ended up not being sarcastic, a little cutting. Because of swords, cutting. Anyway, but the Ace of Swords, it's a new beginning as far as communication is concerned, as far as cutting through the crap. So maybe after all these months of me talking to you about unplugging a little bit from all this horrible, faux news and faux life being presented to you on social media and on the news sites and on the television and people, it's quite a bit of propaganda. It's fun. Anyway, but maybe you're unplugging a little bit so you can get to what's true for you. What's true for you? And you can kind of set boundaries. The Ace of Swords is really about, setting boundaries. I'm going to do a little side note as far as setting boundaries is concerned, because we can all use a little information about that. I have, I have a lot of people that ask about, you know, ghosts or you can set boundaries with spirit as well. If you feel like, this is not something for you to be afraid of. This stuff is not, this card has no fucking power except what you give it. It has no power. It is information. It's just communication. It is information. It is a way to navigate. It is a way to, one of the ways that you can navigate life. Some people read books. Some people take classes. Some people read cards. It's a way to, comfort yourself and make sense of the world when the world feels really fucking crazy. So this Ace of Swords, this is me. Imagine that I am expressing the Ace of Swords right now. I'm telling you the truth. You can set boundaries with these things if they feel too overwhelming. You can set boundaries with spirit. You can set boundaries with people. Clear communication between yourself and the outside world, and between yourself and yourself, is really, really important. And this month you could achieve a new level of that. Okay. That is the Ace of Swords. Then we went on to the little bug people tarot. Anyway, so we've got the Six of Wands, and I related that to the Lover's card. Like, gosh, it's really shiny on that. I related that to the Lover's card, but also, Wands is about creativity, passion, lust, magic, inspiration, anything that inspires you. And six is, again, six is about relationships of all kind, communication, making choices based on your heart. And so this month, I think this is just reconfirming that the new things that show up, or the new things that you're creating and bringing into being at this time, need to be looked at and examined a little bit, not picked apart. This is not, I'm not talking about picking it apart. I'm talking about checking in. Does this light up for me? Does this feel good? Or will this feel good in the long run? Because a lot of times we have to make choices that are going to feel good in the long run, as opposed to right now, like going to the dentist. It'll feel good in the long run. Or just taking a necessary test so that you can achieve some sort of certification, doing a little work so that you can get paid. Will it feel good in the long run? Will you feel satisfied in the long run? Will you feel happy about it in the long run? These are things to ask yourself this month. So that was September. And those of you who came on late, I am doing this live on YouTube at the same time that I'm doing it live on Facebook, which means that there are two places for you to be able to see it. Once I finish this live video up, you can look at it on my timeline. I'll post it in the Queenie's Intuitive Readings, hoo-ha. Well, not the hoo-ha, but the Queenie's Intuitive Readings page. And I'm going to try and get through this hot flash again. But I am available on evenings and weekends for full-length readings. I might do another private card pull for people, like a $5 card pull, but I need to work the bugs out of the technical stuff in order to do that and make it so that it is worth it for me, because it took like 24 hours for me to get the video for the people that couldn't show up for the video so they could see it later in the messenger group. No bueno. No bueno. Love you guys, but that was a bit much. So hold on one moment. A rented lip. Anyway, so if you're interested in having a full-length reading, I do half hour, I do hour. We can talk about ways that we can connect. I really like talking about the tarot and teaching the tarot. If anybody's interested in learning, we can work something out. And that's September. Let's start this shit up, man. Let's fire it up. I'm ready. Everybody access their King of Wands. Look underneath the Glauconer's mask. And who knows what October will bring. I'm kind of excited. This is some good stuff, man. It's good. I like it. I'm excited. Life is very interesting. And I'm glad it's opening up for you. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for popping in. And like, thank you for tolerating the Valley Girl, because she was like totally coming out, because she just really, like, I haven't used her in a long time, and I just couldn't stop. Okay. So, you know, so you can contact me if you want to hear her give you a reading. She might critique your clothing, though, as far as I know. Anyway, she's very petulant. Talk to you guys later. Have a great night. Have a great September. And see you next time. Bye. Okay, so we're ending here. And then we're going to finish here. Oh, my God.